He's been wound up since he's walked in the yard. He hasn't dropped the bridle at all, so yeah, he's getting quite warm.
Here's another one backing up from the Doncaster. It's the other Japanese horse. Lane to ride, Kimura trains. It's Geoglyph.
Yeah, would have liked to see more in the Doncaster last week. He has to turn that form around quickly here.
Couldn't fault his appearance. He looks really, really well in his appearance. No knock.
Okay, I think Vauban's about to go straight out here. The jockey jumped up on board, Tim Clark, and yep, straight down the tunnel. Here is the favourite, number 12, Via Sistina, James McDonald and Chris Waller. James about to mount up. Here she comes.
Yeah, she's obviously the talk of the town, and so she should be with her record. Lovely, laid back big mare. Look, her rotation has her pretty short here, understandably so, in a high quality race, stacked full of depth, but she's the go-to horse, and I've got no argument with that.
Obviously super consistent this time round, but it's definitely the best that she's looked this preparation. She's lost that sort of whispery hair look, and yeah, she looks outstanding.
All right, same colours, same connection, but with a black cap. It's number 14, Deny Knowledge. Mark Zara for Anthony and Sam Friedman.
Well, she's a 2,000 metre specialist who loves to roll along. She's been incredible at her past two preparations, and she won't be an easy beat to get past in the straight here.
She was parading really, really well. As soon as Mark got up on board, she really come to life. So yeah, big tick for mine.
They're heading to the gates, to the 2,000 metres for the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Corey Brown, who have you settled on?
I ended up settling with number 2, Rawson Park. I know Ronnie's been a big rap for this horse all through the week. I went out and watched the horse gallop there on Thursday morning. God, he didn't look that big out on the track, but when I seen him in the enclosure, he's a man mountain. He looked terrific in the yard. So yeah, I'm with number 2, Rawson Park.
I am 2, 12, 4 and 1. I hope you're right. And just like I say, he's just got a little X factor here. You know, these Japanese horses at the top level, you know, they say he's a really good Group 2 horse, and he's with the right run, he's a proper Group 1 horse. So I'll cop that. Needs a good ride, but he's got one of the world's best to produce that ride. Hopefully he gets enough speed here. We've lost one of our leaders, which hurt in full count, Felicia, who was going to go forward with Deny Knowledge, but I'll take the risk. You can't knock Via Sistina, only that she's found one of the hottest races I've seen, you know, depth-wise, and she's $2.10. But look, she's a very popular mare, and I can understand that. And if she does pull out that rating from the Cox Plate, there's no betting. Chia Wolf, the forgotten horse of the field, I say, and Dubai Honour, just too good to leave out. I'd love a spot for Tom Kitten and Buckaroo there, but 2, 12, 4 and 1.
Favourite Via Sistina, the tab lay of the day today, 195 out to 210, albeit we're starting to weaken a little bit. We're only equal top price. We're the same price as the NOP, as she's $1.55 on the Whirlpool, and she's just too easy to lay to push her out any further than that. But she's over 60% of the total hold, and just as I say that, the 210 gone now into evens. We're seeing a wave of support for her, some big bets to the 210. She's into even money. Dubai Honour, the second pick. He's hard to lay today. He's almost our best way at tab.com.au. 6 out to 750. The Japanese Galloper's been well backed all week. 15 Tuesday, 11 this morning, now a $9 chance. KO Wolf solid as a $14 chance today, as is Buckaroo. He's actually just in a roll today, 15 into 14. Tom Kitten in a bit today, 17 into 16. That is how it sits. The last 60 seconds of betting will be all important with these international gallopers. That'll give us a really good lead just as they're going into the gates. We'll know a little bit more, and they'll have an impact on the favourite's price, but she's now into evens and so easy to lay.
Okay, they've arrived at the start. Well, most of them have. Let's go behind the gates to Chantel Buckley.
Well, I can tell you that Vauban has completed the obligatory toilet stop. It's just something that he has done every single time I've seen him. He is hot, but we've learnt that now. That's him, and he's always going to be. He's not above himself. He's standing here. Tim's just giving him a rub down the neck. So that's just the way Vauban is going to parade every time we see him now. Chael was up on the toe in the yard, and he hasn't been like that lately. So he might be on song. It might be a real positive thing for him. He's walking around with his ears pricked. Chad's just keeping him out of the way, and he's arrived in absolute tip-top order. I know why Corey put Rawson Park on top, because he's a beautiful individual. He came up near me as I was cantering around, and he's a massive big. So I can certainly see why he was taken by him. Deny Knowledge was full of himself in the yard, and he's quite hot as he's arrived around. Tyler gave Faulkner Park a really nice warm-up. He was one of the last to arrive. He went right down to the straight, and he's really good. Buckaroo has come on from that run last start and in leaps and bounds, actually, so he's great. Here's Sistina. She was quite keen cantering around to the gates, and she's just absolutely in pristine order, as she normally is. There's nothing that ever seems to faze her. Lindemann, fantastic once again. Dubai Honor, who's right in front of me now, he's looking fantastic. So all of these horses looking really well. Middle Earth is probably very worked up. I don't know a lot about that horse, but probably not a great parade from him. Light Infantryman is much the same, very, very hot.
Thank you, Shani. 3:56 local time here in Sydney, Australia. 6:56 a.m. in London. Good morning, William Haggis. And 2:56 p.m. in Tokyo, where they'll be watching in as well to see this horse, Geoglyph, and the more fancied Rusham Park run. Back to Tim Ryan. Via Sistina, what price is she now?
Yeah, she stays evens, but I'm not sure how long she'll stay evens. The anticipated real late money for Dubai Honor and Rusham Park hasn't come. They're solid, $7.50 and $9, but I was expecting a late firm. It hasn't come. I don't think the evens will last long. I think she might just jump odds on.
Every year, there's so much anticipation for this race, which is built up into something special. And we never know what we're going to get, whether it be a Pride of Jenny or a Nash to the outside fence, or one of these Haggis individuals who just keep winning. Let's find out. The Queen Elizabeth Stakes, 2,000 metres, and Darren Flindell.
The Selwood Stakes, and Wolf moves up to the outside draw in the hands of regular rider Chad Schofield. So they're locked and loaded. The favourite drawn, barrier 1 via Sistina. Stand by. Off here on the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Faulkner Park jumped well with Tom Kitten, Lindemann and Geoglyph pretty handy. Now, Deny Knowledge is a few lengths off the lead. Wider outline Infantryman and Via Sistina about midfield. Dubai Honor bursting through the pack, improving together with Vauban. Rosham Park's back but in a wide position from Middle Earth, and Chaya Wolf's been snagged back to last. Lindemann got to the front and is going to hand up now. Deny Knowledge, it's her duty to lead them up, the year-long mare, and Deny Knowledge strides to the front by 2 lengths on Light Infantryman. Lindemann was happy to take the sit in third. 2 lengths away to Geoglyph, a lot handier in the run. On the inside of Tom Kitten, 2 lengths further back to Dubai Honor, who's just shading Buckaroo and Via Sistina, almost in the second half of the field there in the white cap. The Japanese stallion Rusham Park, the outside, and the red cap, followed then by Faulkner Park, Middle Earth, Vauban second last, and 2 lengths away to Chaya Wolf, about a dozen lengths off the lead. So Deny Knowledge keeps the gallop good in the lead, out by 2.5 on Light Infantryman. Then Lindemann in a very handy third, 2 to Tom Kitten, who's just tugging along at this point. Geoglyph there on the fence from Dubai on a camp right behind them. Further back to Buckaroo, Via Sistina on the fence, Rusham Park on a 3-wide path as they come up to the 600 metres now. And Deny Knowledge the front runner, but Lindemann comes off the fence, and Nash is going to challenge a long way out. It's Deny Knowledge being joined by Lindemann coming around the turn, who takes the lead. Then Tom Kitten, Dubai Honor's winding up on the outside from Light Infantryman, and now Via Sistina. She's looking for the runs behind them. She'll have to go back to the inside. Lindemann takes the lead to the 200, but here comes Via Sistina. She's slicing through the pack. Dubai Honor and Chaya Wolf down the outside, but Via Sistina takes the lead inside the 100. She's drawn clear from Dubai Honor and Tom Kitten, and Via Sistina equals the record of the Great Winks with 7 Group 1s in a season. What an emphatic victory there in the Queen Elizabeth, beating Dubai Honor and Tom Kitten. Then Lindemann, Rosham Park led on the scene from Chaya Wolf, then Middle Earth, a gap further back to Faulkner Park from Buckaroo, Light Infantryman, Vauban, Deny Knowledge dropping out, and Geoglyph was last in.
This incredible mare has done it again, Via Sistina, after what was heartbreak last year when they all missed the boat behind Pride of Jenny. Via Sistina finally claims her Queen Elizabeth. 13 wins on the board from 24 starts in a career now. This 7-year-old mare by Fastnet Rock. She came here, immediately won in the Ranvet. That was 12 months ago, and she's gone on a rampage ever since. 12, 1, 5 and 8. Number 1, Dubai Honour, has run second. So a win and a second for Dubai Honour in this great race. Number 5, Tom Kitten, has run third. Number 8 has run fourth, and that is Lindemann. And then Char Wolf, and then Rusham Park.
Yeah, it was looking a bit hairy for her for a long way there, but class prevails, and I think that's another track record, and that's an old one, Hampton Court, I think, and so just outside, was it? Okay, just outside the track record, but track record style performance. He was gallant in defeat, Dubai Honour. Tom's run really well, Tom Kitten, and what can you say? What a champion mare she is. To do what she's done in this short time in Australia is amazing.
Absolute superstar win there, Ronnie. Like you said, it looked like James was in a bit of a tricky situation there at the top of the straight, but he just bided his time. Once he got the runs and he pushed the button, she was electric. She was an absolute superstar there today.
Yes, she's just outside the track record held by Hampton Court at 2 minutes .3. She's run 2 minutes .41, and it's easily the fastest Queen Elizabeth ever run. The race record held by... The race record was held by... No, that can't be right. The race record, I'll double check that race record. No, that's a class record, not a race record. A class record is held by Happy Clapper at 2 minutes .66. Of course, Happy Clapper didn't win this race, but that's a class record. So open weight for age, 2 minutes .66. It's a class record, but Hampton Court, he ran the 2 minutes .3 in a Spring Champion Stakes as a 3-year-old. Here's McDonald bringing Via Sistina back. Another great mare adds her name to this honour roll. So she joins Pride of Jenny, Winks, who won it 3 times. And she sits comfortably along any on this honour roll. So for Yulong, they've bought big. And they've bought plenty. But this is the best they've purchased.